right, so we're back with Cory, my man. How you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm in a little bit of pain.
So Cory, you got a really nice tent set up here, brother.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's very clean, um, you know, and you're making it better. You're working on flood control. You got a nice battery for your electronics and stuff. Cory, tell me a little bit about what you've done here. I mean, you've got a really nice camp, very clean.
Well, we did another video and I talked about how I just kind of recently became disabled,
Yeah,
and I got a little bit of back pay, and I bought a trailer last year, not even a year ago, and I've gotten hit by 8 storms, and it got leveled 3 or 4 times, the trailer,
yeah,
and I got it tied down pretty good.
yeah.
When the hurricane hit, I thought the tent was going to blow away with me inside of it. It was crazy.
Yeah. So you actually went through Hurricane Helene, Milton,
Two back to back. I did recently 2 back to back
yeah,
hurricanes in this tent.
and then there was the big flooding with Adalia, right?
Yeah, that was 2 back to back storms. I don't know if those were hurricanes. Are you talking about like a few months ago?
Yeah, before that there was
Yeah,
another
man.
one.
Like they
Yeah,
were like bad. Like I was out here, the first night. Actually, first night I came out here, those storms hit, and I had nothing. Like I didn't have my tent. I had nothing. I sat here with like a piece of plastic I found in the woods, covering myself, crying like a little girl. I had nowhere to go.
you spent a
It was
hurricane in the
pouring
woods.
like so hard, bro.
Yeah,
And I had this little like, it was like a loaf of bread bag or something that I found, and I tried opening it up, trying to get some cover from the rain. I cried all night long, like sobbing.
yeah.
I saw like this.
I talked
It
to
was
a
bad.
I talked to a friend who also experienced the hurricane outside. He told me he
That
cried
wasn't
too.
the hurricane. That was like just a freak storm. 2 back to
Yeah,
back storms came, and a tornado went through here.
yeah,
I got hit with a tornado. But yeah, I consider myself a man, like a man, like I'm, and I'm being toughened up. Like I'm being toughened up for something. I've cried a few times probably my whole life. This year I've cried more times than like my whole life. Like I've cried a lot this year, and a lot of it's because of the storms, man. Like, it sucks, man. Like I got like a brand new tablet and a phone. I just left the store and got caught in a rainstorm. I go through a phone and a tablet like every
yeah.
few weeks.
Cory, you keep your stuff really clean.
I try.
I mean, I see you got this place really clean. Is it a challenge to keep your tent as clean, or
Yes, especially being disabled because I want to do more, but it's like some days I don't have it. I don't have the, you know, like I have trauma, really bad trauma,
you know?
and I have narcolepsy from it. I have a sleeping disorder,
Yeah,
um, because like I'm terrified of having nightmares. Like I try to stay up sometimes. Like I try to stay up as long as I can, till I fall out. Like basically, like I feel like I've been through battle, and that's just from living here in the United States, growing up in the United States. Like I've gone through some pretty. I've had a good life, but I've had some crazy shit happen to me, man. I don't know what it is. People like to abuse me, man. Like it's maybe they think I can take it or something, so they mentally beat me. Like I mean, it happens a lot, man. People like, it's crazy, man.
but you are aware of it. That's good. I mean,
Yeah, well, I was
you can change
sheltered my
that.
whole life. I
Okay.
had 2 big cousins. They were the toughest people in town. My cousin's hands were like, he would smack somebody, and like we thought the person like that to do. And they both just died from my 2 cousins.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. I've lost friends like that, and
I
unfortunately,
just got a phone
my
too.
first friend that I lost was at 16, so I know that feeling. It's especially when
So
it's a young person, they have so much life ahead of them.
yeah, my whole life, every morning I talk to them too. Like every morning we talk. Like all 3 of us were together my whole life, and they're both gone. Well, one of them died from like he drowned in his sleep. He didn't know he was drinking and took his.
That's exactly.
He died.
My friend at 16. That's exactly how it happened. So I can relate to that.
I couldn't believe it, man. But like I was saying, my whole life, I mean, those guys used to compete over who can spoil me the most. Dude, if anybody even looked at me wrong, they would knock them out, rub their nose off on the concrete. It was scary, man. Like I had to stop them. Like, but if anybody me, because I'm like my whole life, I've been hit in the head a few times. I've had neurological damage my whole life, and people pick on me. People take advantage of me a lot. Like every time I get money, like people, it's like.
I mean, really, you can't even tell people. If
I
you
can't.
You can't,
but it's like I like to live. Not people could tell
yeah,
like, if I got money, and people.
But people are just.
And they get people like they'll kill you. They'll kill you for your
money,
shit,
bro.
man. It's
I've
crazy.
Seen
it. But oh yeah, so they're gone. Andrew died a few years ago, and his brother Chris just died not too long ago. There were 14,000 people at his funeral, something like that. Here in Bradenton, and he was like my hero, man. And I'm what's left, man. I mean, I've probably lost 100 people, man. And like, I'm afraid sometimes if I don't talk to somebody in a little while, they're dead, they're gone, man. And it's people you would never think that would do that. It's scary, man. Okay, can we talk about how I want to set up my own YouTube channel?
Yeah, let's do that, brother. So, okay, have you thought about a name? That's
no,
like the number one thing you gotta do.
I actually researched how to post videos, the best way to do it, and it says the title is a lot.
Oh yeah.
You got to have something that's catchy, and you can do it. You can change the heading too. You don't have to have the same one too. You can change it. I don't know. I want some. I don't want to be home. I don't want to be homeless, Cory, because I don't want to be known as home. I'm not homeless. I'm doing this for research. Yeah. I'm researching right now.
No, I get there's a demoralizing aspect to that word that a lot of homeless people don't like to be called homeless.
Yeah.
But it could be Cory's struggle.
I'm also on a quest, like a spiritual, like I'm on a calling. I feel something in Trump. I shouldn't have said.
You're good, bro. You're good, man.
That one guy that everybody I feel it. He's been tapped on the shoulder by God.
Yeah, man.
And
let's
I feel it. I feel it.
I know you feel that way, bro, but let's stay off that.
Okay.
I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, man.
Like that's not freedom of speech, man.
You can talk about it, but I don't see. The thing is, I want to learn about you and help you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So like,
okay.
That's
not
I
want to start
your YouTube channel.
I want to start my own YouTube channel. I want to learn the easiest, best ways to live comfortably, happy. I like to be around. I like to have women. I'm trying to make the place nice. And I'm trying to alternative powers.
You're definitely doing a really good job. Of
I just got a big 100 or 50. I got a big thing to fill water up.
Yeah,
with.
I see that. You got a water jug and everything. And you got a sofa in there that's inflatable.
Yep.
Cory, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
I mean, really, like I know as much as you struggle with your struggles every day, like what you've done. I think by keeping this place, it feels welcoming, it feels calming. I think you've created a little sanctuary for yourself. Where here,
thank you.
You can kind of, because you've done a great job. This looks neat, clean. It's not disorderly. Like I feel like maybe here, you can find a little bit of peace.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you find peace here?
Yeah. The other day you asked me a question. You said, "Well, what do you want to what do you want to get out of everything? Like, what would I don't remember the exact question."
Yeah. Like, where do you see yourself?
What am I trying to get out of it, or like, where do I want to be, or something? Yeah. I want to be healthy, happy, And I feel like your living situation is like 90% of what makes you happy or not.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to be somewhere where you have somebody screaming at you all the time and being negative. My dad, my dad was like very, very negative to me, and I'm trying to make a happy universe for myself.
Yeah.
Anybody that's negative in my life, I'm not even giving them a second chance. I'm one chance. When I meet somebody, I tell them, don't screw me over. Don't be negative to me. Don't talk behind my back. If you do, kick rocks. I don't want anything to do with you ever again.
But Cory, you don't have any other homeless people around you to bother you. This is like you're out here by yourself.
Yeah.
You keep your area clean.
Thank you.
You keep your tent clean. That creates a little atmosphere where you can kind of find yourself, and I feel like you can find a little bit of peace out here.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful out here,
Yeah,
man.
it's gorgeous. I mean, like,
I'm practicing to hopefully maybe buy a little piece of property and do the same thing. You know, I'm practicing right now.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do like a Mr. Miyagi. Remember the Karate Kid? Like how Mr. Miyagi's house was?
Yeah.
Like how he designed everything himself and like little fountain. Like that's what I want to do. Like a Mr.
I mean,
Miyagi
like,
thing.
with as much as you struggle with sometimes a little bit of social interactions, when you're here by yourself, I mean, you're working on fixing your camp. You're making your life better. You have the ability and the desire to make your life better, which a lot of people on the streets don't have that, Cory.
Well, it's either live or die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm learning. It's like you either go with the flow or you get ran over by the crowd of people, by everybody. Like, they're not taking prisoners, man. People are out for blood, man. Like, people are in survival mode right now. Big time. It's dangerous. I'm a little worried, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like have faith and, you know, sorry I said that.
No, you're good. You're good, man.
Yeah.
It's a good conversation, brother.
Yeah. I'll look for some different platforms. I think Elon owns that, and we could do whatever we want on there. I don't know if they pay.
YouTube right now is really weak in the. I don't know why, but it's been weak in the last month, and so I've been Uber driving more and stuff like that.
You know, you can have one video on multiple.
Right.
You can link.
Yeah.
Your site.
I've done so good.
Multiple sites.
Right. Me personally, I've done so good on YouTube over the years.
Oh, really? That's all you focus on?
That's it. I don't care about anything else. YouTube and Facebook groups are my thing.
Yeah, YouTube started it. Like, you know, things lose. Like things change real quick.
I don't think YouTube's gonna fall off.
I hope not.
I think it could get harder to make money.
Well, if they go back to like real freedom of speech, like, because that's the main reason people were doing it, to learn. It's a learning device. YouTube's like one of the best it's the best learning device I've ever probably used in my life.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean,
anything.
Where else can you do like anything you want to know? You in.
Dude, last night I tell you my truck wasn't starting.
Yep.
I went on YouTube. I found a video on YouTube, and a guy told me how to fix it. I did it myself.
It's crazy, huh?
And AAA had me waiting for 3 hours. I finally just went on YouTube, and a guy told me how to do it, and I fixed it myself.
The only way I feel to see YouTube stay strong, like, number one, is to go back to their original, like, you know, or just.
There's a lot of yellow tape.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, like, or whatever, but you should be able to talk about, you know, basically anything. I think that a site, you can talk about anything.
Okay, so here's the thing about YouTube. You can talk about anything, but you're not going to get monetized. So you can go on YouTube and talk about anything you want, just about. You're just not going to be able to make money. And there are some things
they'll boot you off too. They'll just kick you off too.
Some things, yeah, but keep in mind, okay, like a car, right, can take you from point A to point B. But you can hurt somebody with a car if you use it the wrong way. So there are some topics that are just not.
Yeah. Well, maybe YouTube doesn't want to go down that road, you know? Maybe they don't want to have lawsuits or whatever, but if people know that it's like you're gonna hear all kinds of crazy stuff on it. It's like, see, like I take a lot of one thing I've been noticing is I don't think a lot of people have been taught about the like the Declaration of Independence and
No, people are they don't learn the
they're
right
illiterate.
things.
They're America illiterate.
Yeah,
I feel like,
yeah.
but me, I'm like the most American person, one of the most American people around. I was born in a hospital called Lynn Hospital, and it's named after one of the founding fathers up in Boston. And then we moved to Revere Beach, and it's named after Paul Revere. They did their famous like march through my town. The British did, and to Lexington, where they had like all the battles, and that's where America started, right there in my neighborhood. And I grew up going to all the different museums with schools, and I went to like Bunker Hill, and I've been on the Mayflower. I've been to Plymouth Rock. The
Cradle. Yeah, it's definitely like where the United States.
And I take
Yeah.
having the freedom to speak my mind. That's what runs America. That's being able to speak your mind, and free trade, and once you start tampering with that, man, go under real quick, man. Countries fold real all the time, man. Countries that think they're gonna be here forever. Rome, for instance, from what I hear, Rome collapsed for the same exact reason, for the same thing that's going on right now. Corrupt politicians, open borders. If you have open borders, the system can't handle the influx of injured people and the jails, and you got all these third world countries coming here, and the people are, and they're dangerous people, and that right there in itself.
Yeah, but I think you're kind of.
Did you see what happened to Ukraine? Did you watch any of the Ukrainian videos?
I don't watch the news at all, brother.
What makes you think that couldn't happen here?
Well, the Ukraine
It
got
could
invaded
happen
by
here
Russia.
very fast.
Yeah, let's stay off politics,
But I'm just
bro.
saying,
Yeah, no, there's a lot of Russians and Ukrainians here in Sarasota. Have you met any?
Things could get out of hand.
There's a lot
love
of Russians.
I got one of my best friends is from Belarus.
Yeah, there's a lot here in Sarasota.
He's like 6'5", looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
There's a lot of Russians and Ukrainians
I love Russians, and I get along with them. People think I'm Russian and stuff.
There's a lot of Russians here, man. A lot.
I like Putin. I think I want to talk to. I want to talk to that person that I'm not really supposed to talk to. I think we should start our own NATO. Forget NATO. All those countries that NATO, they don't care about us. I think we need to worry about the people that can hurt us. We need to flip. We need to talk. We need to make friends with them people. Putin, I think we could become friends with him. The guy from North Korea, I think we could be friends. I think we could make a pact, us, and make our own thing.
Again, like I told you, let's stick off politics.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
I'm here for you, bro.
Yeah,
Right,
I keep going. If I do my own channel, can I talk about?
You can do all that, bro. Like, and you can do all that on your. But,
Okay.
but see, the thing is, like me.
All right, so
I care about
what
people.
questions do you have?
So, like, okay, I wanted to ask you a few things since the last time we talked.
Okay.
So you went through this hurricane out here in the woods. For hours, you were getting beat by rain and wind. You lost whatever you had during those hurricanes. You had to rebuild. But you rebuilt really nicely, man.
Thank you.
What are your goals for? I see right now you're doing. I'm not going to show too much of what you're doing here.
I'm making a walkway.
You're building some ditches to keep the flooding out of the way. You're also you want to extend your tent and make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so what are your plans?
I want to make like a workshop.
Okay, so you can actually
with the mosquito tent.
Maybe like a bench or something to work on.
Yeah, I actually have like a saw table I'm gonna put in there.
Okay, so you got plans for this place?
Yeah, and yeah, yep. Sorry, I was thinking
about.
I keep thinking I'm going through a pretty like I'm going through a pretty emotional like time in my life
Yeah.
right now. Like it's pretty. I don't know what's going on. Like
So like me, what I do, Cory, is I care about people. I worry about people and I help people in whatever I can, but I don't worry too much about like things that I can't control
yeah.
because I feel like you're worried
Well,
about
I
things that
feel
are
like I'm
just.
supposed to do something. Like man, I feel like I'm supposed to do something, and it's like I don't know. I do know
You
what to do.
want to.
It's
You want.
weird. I
You're
know what
looking
to
for
do.
purpose. You're looking for
I'm looking
purpose.
for directions, right? I'm looking for like uh some I don't know, like something.
You like to do stuff. I mean, look what you've done here. Like most homeless people don't spend this much time making their area clean. They don't care. You actually care enough to make your surroundings good. Like, I think you have great intentions. I think you're looking for a purpose. But I think with social media, Cory, you learn it. It takes a long time to learn it,
Hmm.
but you have to be a conscience creator,
Yeah.
and that's
Well, I'm
difficult
gonna do
because
different. I'm gonna
yeah,
do different angles. I'm gonna try different angles.
the thing about being a creator is there's something called being a conscience creator, and it means there's a lot of things that I want to say
Okay.
that I just keep to myself
When you're doing
when I'm
a
doing my
video.
videos because
Okay.
I have to be respectful to my audience. I have to be
Uh huh.
respectful to the people I'm interviewing.
Yeah.
There's young kids watching, right? And I
Okay.
want to be a good example to them. So, like, give you an example. A lot of people create rap music videos, right?
Okay.
Now, the content is always bad stuff,
Yeah.
promoting bad stuff. So, if I go now and I become like those guys, now I'm
Mhm.
promoting the bad
Yeah.
stuff. So, like,
You want to have a positive
you got to have a
vibe.
positive angle. So, the problem about politics that I avoid on my channel is because it's very divisive.
Yeah.
And people, it just divides people.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking. I think like me and you, we could have different points of views.
Do you have like any skills or hobbies or anything like
Yeah,
that?
man.
Or?
I go metal detecting.
Oh, you
I
have
got a
metal
metal
detectors?
detector.
You have
Yeah.
metal detectors?
Yeah, dude. I got one. It's not the fanciest.
I just sold one. I had one.
Yeah.
Man, if you would like, I would like to go metal detecting.
Yeah, man.
I actually been researching where to go metal detecting,
Yeah.
and you won't even believe what I found. I am a treasure finding person, bro. I've had I don't know if I told you that like I'm in the antique business, and I've actually had
I love antiques.
I've had a few store antiques, my own shop. I actually inherited.
Yeah.
I inherited a huge antique mall. Everything in the mall.
Yeah.
The guy found out he had cancer, and he left everything to me. And I didn't know anything about antiques really. And this famous baseball player found out he had cancer, and I was friends with him, and he left everything to me, except for the house.
Yeah.
But he owned an antique mall.
Mm-hmm.
He actually owned an antique store with a whole mall that he rented out like 20 different stores to other antique people.
Yeah.
And he left everything to me, and I got like a real quick lesson in antiques real fast. Like it was crazy. Like he left me probably like over $100,000 worth of stuff.
Cool.
And
But I love metal detecting and I love antiques too. Metal detecting, I'll be honest, it's hard to find anything of real value. It's more of a hobby.
I know. I found, man. So I've been researching where's the best places to go metal detecting, and it said old fishing villages, railroad yards, anything that had any kind of old history that might have a dump. And you go and dig through the dump, and man, I hit the motherload. They started a museum, everything I found. On Cortez Road, there's a museum, and it has everything that I found in the museum.
Yeah, I like metal detecting. It's a lot of fun. I also like fishing.
Yeah.
You know.
I found a fishing camp from like almost 150 years ago, and all this stuff, man, hundreds of artifacts, and I couldn't believe it. I found all these mason jars, like a couple of hundred blue and green mason jars that were worth hundreds of dollars each one, and there was like probably 500 mason jars. I couldn't even believe it. I found this shed. I found this building that collapsed.
Yeah.
I actually went. I went to the. I went to the Cortez Village, the fishing village here in Bradenton, and I went to the mayor. And they said he was mayor. I went and talked. I'm like, hey, I'm want to hunt for some antiquities, and they're like, yeah, that's the mayor's house right there. And I went and talked to him, and he's like, He's like, oh, okay. He's like, man, he's like, there's this place I always wanted to check. There's all this property with these houses on it. He's like, you're more than welcome to walk around the property.
Oh, sweet.
He's
yeah.
like, just don't go in the house. And I'm walking around the property and I see all this tall grass, and I start digging through the grass, and it was this building that collapsed like 150 years ago. It was a pickling shed, and there were like cases of these like mason jars, all these hooks and like different frying pans, and it was amazing, man.
Yeah.
I went back to the mayor, and he was like, holy crap. And they got a museum, they got a maritime museum over there with like
Yeah.
all the stuff I found a bunch of maritime stuff.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that area got flooded really bad.
I donated it all.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's a really neat. I've driven past the museum. I've never been in it. It got flooded really bad. That whole
That
area.
museum,
I don't know.
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the whole area got flooded. Yeah.
It did. Oh, I bet. But man, those mason jars, oh my god, it was like, I couldn't even believe it. Like, they were handmade, each one. And I love depression glass. Like when they have the different colored glasses, they add different chemicals and stuff to make and these things are green. Like, it was.
Do you think maybe
amazing.
I know metal detectors are kind of expensive, but if you had like a metal detector, it'd be a good hobby for you, like, because you could get out there and explore.
Yeah. If I found a place for us to go, would you want to go metal detecting somewhere with me?
Bro, we could go to the beach, man. I got one
I've
metal. I
never
only
done
got
the
one
beach.
metal
I would like
detector.
to. I could get one. Like, well, after
You can use mine.
in a few days. Yeah, we could both use it.
Wanna
yeah.
go? Let's go to the beach, man.
Like right now.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go, man.